All right, so let's go ahead and jump back into our campaign, Ray World. I'm going to do some fun stuff here. So the plan is right now, so I have been doing kind of a like pseudo campaign where I've done some creative stuff here as I'm building this castle and everything, but at the same time I've also gone through. So yeah, I'm in creative right now, and I've been kind of playing through in a more um, what do you call it, survival sense. So something that you see right here. Let me first. I gotta bring this up. Yeah. Something that you see here is the castle. If you've been following this at all, the castle looks a bit different. So let's get a bit closer so you can see why it's different. This the brick has changed. Looks like um, there's a lot of Squidwards in there. So the brick has changed. Sandstone's changed. This is the magma block. So the magma block has been changed as well. This is a result of the shaders that I'm using. I'm using SEUS. Well, I'm using the SEUS shaders for the ray tracing, not the shaders, resource packs. So I'm using the R16 textures from UMSOEA, and I'm also using Southcraft for kind of sprucing up anything else in between. Southcraft, you see all the trees out in the distance. Let's get a little closer actually. So the trees themselves, you'll notice once we get close, they have a more realistic and leafy feel to them. All of the leaf graphics are like this. There's also some changes to the way the wood looks. Let's get up here. Oh, there. Yeah, so there's changes to the way the wood looks. I'm not sure that that's actually changes to the grass as well. The more kind of realistic textures. So they did mention that this stuff was not meant to be played in Minecraft survival mode, but I love that. Oh, that's amazing. My turtles have finally hatched, and now they go all over the place around here, and back to Turtle Island. I turned down I turned up essentially the clarity of the water, which is something that you can adjust through ray tracing. You can determine how cloudy you want the water. I wanted it almost clear, so you can go in and you can see to the bottom, but you can see also it kind of fades off and gets cloudy. But this way, you just get such a better underwater experience by being able to see with some crystal clear water. And you can also see into the castle there, into my dungeon, which is not yet complete, but in progress. We'll get back to that eventually. So magma blocks have been changed. We're still using ray tracing. These clouds are very square, but I mean they look okay. They're fine. They're fine. We're gonna recreate some of the locations, some of the bits and pieces that we saw in the R16 version. Um, that that involves I have to determine where. So at first I thought I would come in here and build it in the castle, but honestly I think the more interesting place to build it would be to have a house um, all the way out in my survival area where I've got some like super awesome, super high tech, realistic looking place. So it's all the way out in this direction, over the lava, over this hill. For reference, my computer memory is at 90%, 89, 89, 90. Oh, there we go. think it was here. It's interesting. Trying to come at this place by there you go. Yeah, so I made this wall in creative, but just to highlight the boundary of the kingdom that I'm building here. So this is the space, and there's my little house. But I'm gonna have a second house that I'm going to build. I'm gonna build on top of this mountain here, and we're gonna make it super cool. 98%, we got a kick. 97, 96. So it isn't the textures that's causing, well, it isn't the textures per se that's causing this massive spike. It's the fact that I'm moving around so quickly and rendering everything. So let's see, can I put any of this stuff away? Put this in here. I just need to put away the things that I can't really lose from my creative campaign. Or I mean my there we go, I'll get rid of those. I don't need one piece of glass, so that's fine. Don't need that. Carrots, I could get more carrots. So let's kill that and kill this. So, yes. So this is already, I mean, the night looks pretty good. I mentioned I wanted to see like a more realistic moon, which you can see in silver shaders, but I'm not showing that on this this video. Although I do love the night scene in silver shaders. There's some lag again. My computer's at 95%, 98, 98, 96. Yeah, it's having a bit of a rough time. So let's try this, just for sanity's sake. I'm going to turn off the R16 textures, and let's just see how the PC handles that. Okay, so I've dropped down to 48% usage. 53, 54. Yeah, so those textures are, so yeah, the textures, they take up quite a bit of memory. So I was incorrect. They do take up a lot of space. Now, there are different resolutions of the textures, and I was using the highest, which is 2048, but I also have the resolution textures that are these, the 1024. Let's see how those look. Let's put the hotfix in there. Let's see what the resolution, or what the memory says here. Okay, done. Continue back to game. So it isn't the ultra high resolution, but it's still super high resolution. Still at 55. Things in the world are still rendering, but it looks like it's okay. I'm not sure actually why it would even complain at this point, because I didn't even place anything. So perhaps there's just a memory leak when it comes to utilizing these textures in survival mode in a full world. But that, I guess it depends on how much is being rendered. I might actually be, there might be a forest somewhere nearby. Yep. These must be, are these jungle trees? Because jungle trees are one of the objects that are used. Let's see. Let's change the game mode to survival real quick. Break. Oh god. Survival. Change the mode to survival because I want to see if this is a jungle tree. Where did it go? Can I get the? Can I get some? There we go. Dark oak log. Huh. My bet from what's going on here is probably that there are somewhere in this forest there's oh no. Got him. Not today, sir. Not today. Yeah, there must be textures nearby that were being rendered in this ultra high resolution, which caused the spike in the CPU usage, or not CPU usage, because that's fine, but the memory. And the 2080 Ti could not handle it. Again, it's really cool that just Minecraft is one of the most graphics intensive games on the market at the moment, which is just pretty sweet. So here's what we're gonna do. What are some of the textures? Wool. Yeah, so let's grab the gray wool. Grab gray wool. Lace terracotta, that looks different. Light gray wool, yeah. I'm just curious of these because I haven't even seen these, but so we have the light gray wool and we have the gray wool. Those are two of the textures that have, yeah, so they have these, they're really super awesome textures. And even with the 1080, my monitor is like, you know, standard, what, 42-inch. So like you can't like see the difference above 720 on a 42-inch monitor. You have to have something bigger to really be able to tell the difference in the texture quality. So this looks as good as it's going to get, even if I was using the super high resolution 2048 textures, I wouldn't see a difference here. So this is perfect for us right here using these. In our survival mode, our CPU usage is 76%. We still get full ray tracing. Just some lag here in Minecraft in general. I think I have motion smoothing on. Quality. Where is that? Where is that? Motion blur. Let's get that. Shadow different. Surface options. I know I saw it somewhere. Ray tracing options. Higher values will result in more accurate lighting. Let's push it up. Full cave, GI fix, okay. Sunlight fix, leak, yep. Tracing length, higher values farther into the world at a higher cost. We don't need tracing farther into the world. This is fine. I expect that that's going to kick up the load on the system. Post-processing, motion blur off. So we're still at 50% usage. Corrected. Back to game. No motion blur. Because why would you motion blur? Why? So we still get this beautiful look. We're at 50% memory usage, and everything's great. Everything is peachy keen. All right. So, yeah. So we're gonna look at these textures here because I couldn't tell if. Oh, yes. This was a new one. What is this? That's glazed terracotta. Oh, I like that. That looks pretty normal. That looks pretty normal too. Okay, I need here's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna do this. Oh, what the heck? A shulker box? Shulker box. That is interesting. I've actually never seen this item, so it's peculiar to me that happened at all. So gray wool, or black wool. I'm just going to take all of the objects that we could possibly use for ray tracing here that I can find, and I'm going to put them up here. Jungle planks, I think that was one. Jungle planks, right? Yeah, jungle planks are definitely one. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Jungle planks is what we're going to use for our floors, possibly the outside of the house as well. So we got jungle planks. I think these planks, the oak planks, one of these, spruce, cobblestone, sand, red sand, we're going to take a look at the gold ore as well. So, alright, I'm going to have to get rid of this because we like our house to be level. Now, yeah. So this is not ray tracing. This is ray tracing. So this is the high resolution with ray tracing. This is the change from Southcraft. Now, it may not be high resolution, but Southcraft has some, these are pretty nice for just, as far as the texture pack goes, pretty sweet. And I love how they've changed the trees, which is why I'm definitely going to continue using that. Red sand, try regular sand. Yeah, so there's going to be eventually some updates to sand, which is going to be pretty cool. Look at that. That's pretty sweet. I believe this is all the effect of Southcraft, and UMSOEA is also working on some textures that's going to allow for like some ridges in the sand and everything, which is going to look pretty cool. So just checking those out. All right, so now what else we got? Ore, yeah. So they changed the way ore looks. Cobblestone, okay. Let's pull up the next one. I'm just looking for essentially anything that looks like significantly different and gorgeous. So I'm just gonna grab a couple of these just for sanity's sake. Yes, these leaves also look pretty amazing. Jungle leaves, we'll grab some jungle leaves. Let's get rid of this stuff so we know what we have and what we don't. We'll grab some glass. Gray wool, yeah, we got that. Black wool. Black wool, I don't think I showed you that one. In fact, I know I didn't. Let's grab the gold block of iron. Is that everything? Yeah. Alright, so let's take a look at the glass. Glass is glass. Yep. Gray, yep, that's normal. That looks normal. Black wool. Yeah, so black wool is another one that has this leathery texture to it, which is pretty sweet. So we're going to place that up here. Jungle leaves. So again, work of Southcraft, still pretty sweet. We can make some bushes in our house. It's going to be nice. Just going to leave that. I'm going to leave that up here. I'll put it down here. Let's see. Spruce block. Yeah, okay. The iron, the iron looked normal. Also excited for the bookshelf. If you've seen any of the work the UMSOEA is working on for bookshelves, it's just beauty, just straight beauty. This guy is doing some pretty amazing work. Let's see. This I think is one that's being worked on. I don't think that's going to make a difference there. But for sanity's sake, there you go. Redstone lamp is one. I'm keeping these. I'm actually using them. And is that the emerald block? Yep. So like this guy just does these textures for fun, which is really cool. because like nobody does that. I mean, I say nobody does that, but you know, SEUS and UMSOEA and look at that, and Designio and others do actually do this stuff for fun. You know, they do it because they love the technology and what they can get out of it, and their experimentations makes some really cool stuff for us. And it helps propel the gaming community. That's another one, the redstone lamp. I'll show you when it's on, but look at that. It's pretty sweet. And my computer is running this fine, so we can handle this in. If you have a super beefy computer, you can definitely handle these, you know, high resolution textures, at least up to 1024 in creative mode. At 73% memory usage with a 2080 Ti on an i7, so that's pretty good. As you can see, there's some lag when I try to turn, right? If I'm turning like super quickly, it gets rough. But for like when I'm actually playing and moving around stuff, like it's not terrible. I mean, it's a little rough, but it doesn't make the game unplayable, you know. So I could definitely utilize this, and we'll see how this actually functions once I really start like placing this stuff all over the place and building a house. We're gonna see how the game likes that. I think we tried this, yeah. So. And of course, we can always turn down the resolution, and there was a even lower resolution option, which is 512 for these textures. But I'm just gonna stick to 1080, and I'm gonna see how the game plays with that to get as much of a super high resolution experience as I possibly can. And I'm just gonna play. I'm just gonna play. That's the whole point. Again, it's supposed to be like pretty and whatnot, so. It's cool and all, but we want more. So someone's got to test it. That someone's going to be me. See, terracotta. Where is the? I don't think anything has changed with the stained glass. But let's take a look. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Yeah, it looks normal. Yeah, looks normal. I'm looking for anything that might have some kind of new texture to it. Yellow glaze, like orange glaze is one I know for a fact that has been modified. Gray glaze, that's the one we discovered. I think that was one we discovered. I believe it was. So that's not done yet. That's normal. These orange glazed terracotta, it's pretty sweet. Sun's shining directly down on us, so it's hard to see the ray tracing. But I'll leave this up here so you can take a look at it. Where's that? Block of emerald, right. Did I put the emerald up there? Okay, get the glazed up there, and got the black wool, emerald, redstone lamp, birchwood. Well, that was just normal. And then light gray, gray wool, and that I believe is the what was it called? Oh, where is it? This guy, gray glazed terracotta. Yeah, that was it. You see it in my hand. Alright, so let's keep going. Find a gray glazed terracotta. So gray and orange are two that were used. Concretes. So some of the concretes look like they were updated. I think it was just okay. So magenta concrete has been upgraded. I'm just gonna take a look at all of them. Oh my gosh. Okay, start with white concrete. Looks normal. Also looks normal. Yep, normal. That's concrete. Okay, we got green, and we got pink. We got gray. We got light gray. Make a fun room in the house with that. Okay, so these guys. So, take a look at these. Normal, 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 not normal. Normal, white concrete powder, great. So, this one is different, and we've seen this one if you've watched my videos. This is one of the textures that's used in the UMSOEA's map that they use for testing these textures. So this is one that we're going to put. This is one we're also going to put up here. So red concrete is another one that we can use. Now let's continue scraping through and see what more we've been given. Black concrete powder. Dead tube coral block. I don't think I've even seen that in general. Birch door. Let's see, there's one more that I'm trying to find. I forget what it was. Yes, I remember. So I already passed it, but there we go. The trapdoors. I forget which one it was. So we're just going to take a look at all of them. Let's go ahead and get rid of this, right? So that's clearly nothing. That's nothing. That's nothing. So we have that through. Oh, we missed one. Just gonna do this to maintain sanity. And then this one goes here, that one goes here, and this one goes here. And then we're going to put this one here. Alright. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Nope. There it is. Yeah, so this is one of the oh no. This is one of the textures that UMSOEA has upgraded to make this beautiful, like, looking great. Okay, so we're gonna put that up here too. Yeah, we'll put that there. That's fine. That's fine. And then the door. I put two of them up there. No, I put one. So the door itself comes with a this whole circular texture, which is pretty rectangular texture. It's got a frame, and it even has like the door hinges, which is pretty sweet detail added there. So these are the blocks that are available to us for creating our beautiful place. Oh, and the orange terracotta, which I put up there. So yeah, so you can see how like the light reflects off these, and there's even like cracks in the textures, which is pretty sweet. So I mean, there you have it. We are in the world in our creative mode, or yeah, not creative mode, but in our survival campaign. And we've placed these textures, and we see that there is a spike in the memory usage by about 10%. And at 10%, it does start making a difference when we are using 70% typically. So at 80% usage, a 10% difference is noticeable. I might try out the 512s to see if like just how much fidelity is lost in the textures by using 512. In fact, let me see if I even have the 512s on here. I do not, but I have access to them, so I'll grab the 512s. I'll check it out myself just to see if there's any fidelity loss. If there really isn't, which I anticipate there probably will be, but if there isn't, then I'll just use those, and we'll jump in and we'll play with those, and I should be able to maintain my my memory usage. So I'm going to go ahead and end it here. We've seen the textures, they're in the world, and we also see this beautiful green glow all over the land, coming from our glowing emerald block. Oh wait, one more thing I want to show you. I'm going to go ahead and find a lever. Where is it? This guy. I'll put it on the other side. Yeah, I'll put it right here. Okay. And now, bam, there we go. So that's, I wanted you to see that. This is the redstone block when we've turned it on, or the redstone lamp. Memory usage is spiking again, 87, 88, 89, 91. There we go. That's coming back down. So light makes a difference, and these textures, which have ray tracing as part of their feature, it's probably the ray tracing of these objects that causes such significant strain on the memory usage. Let's get closer here so you can see again. We're looking at the redstone block and how it's reflecting light. You get the green hue from the gold, the emerald over there. Also, this golden light coming from the redstone block, which is pretty sweet. So 93 usage right now. So I'm just, for sanity's sake, I'm gonna turn this off just to confirm. 95% off. Still at 92. 91. 90. 89. 88. Yeah. So it's the light itself. It's ray tracing which causes the memory to spike, because obviously you have to do all the calculations when the light comes on. It's bouncing off of parts of these textures, off of multiple points of these textures, and then you have to reflect that out into the world. So we have it set to the low distance for reflecting into the world itself. Lowering that would give us more performance as well, but this is something to consider when we actually start building. Is we really got to consider how much light is going to be reflected. If we built our place underground, that would probably work best, because then we don't have to deal with the light of the outside world coming off of all of these things and murdering our 2080 Ti. But on the plus side, we don't need all of these textures out here. We're only going to have some of them out. We'll make some of them inside. So the house is going to look pretty sweet, and it's going to look great. That'll be the next video though. So thanks for watching. Till next time, have a good one.